कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधा माधव श्री राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रा मैया जय जय निताय जय निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपदा Hare Krishna. So today, I will share my screen so that we can read the verse for today.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I'm just sharing the screen.
Yeah, please.
So I hope, Prabhu, is the screen visible, Prabhuji? Correct, Prabhu. Okay. Can somebody confirm, Prabhu, is the screen visible?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. So today we are going to read the verse from 3rd canto, 26th chapter, the chapter entitled the status quo, and today we are reading the 50th verse. Okay. Etani asamhatya yada mahad adini saptavai kala karma gunopeto jagat adir upavishad etani asamhatyaya mahad adini saptavai kala karma gunopeto jagat adir upavishad एतानि असंहत्य यदा महद आदीनि सप्तवै काल कर्म गुणोपेतो जगत आदिर उपाविशत. So now we'll be reading the word to word meaning. Etani, these, asamhatya, being unmixed, yada, when, mahat adi, mahat tattva, false ego and 5 gross elements, sapta, all together, 7, vai, in fact, kala, time, karma, work, guna, and the 3 modes of material nature, Upeta, accompanied by Jagat Adi, the origin of creation, Upavisad, entered. When all this ends, so this is translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnabind, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The translation: when all these elements were unmixed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin of creation, along with time, work, and the qualities of the modes of material nature, entered into the universe with the total material energy in 7 divisions. Purport: after stating the generation of the causes, Kapil Dev speaks about the generation of the effects. At that time, when the causes were unmixed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a feature of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, entered within each universe. Accompanying him were all of the 7 primary elements, the 5 material elements, the total energy, that is Mahatattva, and the false ego. This entrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead involves his entering even the atoms of the material world. This is found in the Brahma Samhita 5.35. Andantarastha Parmanu Chayantarastha. He is not only within the universe, but within the atoms also. He is within the heart of every living entity. Garbhodakshai Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, entered into everything. So today I am told to speak on 2 verses, that is 3.26.51 also. So let me read this verse also. Tatastena nu videbhyo yuktebhyo andam acetanam utthitam rusho yasmad udati shad asavu virat. Tata Tena, by the Lord, Anu Videbhya, from these 7 principles roused into activity, Yukte, united, Andam, an egg, Achanam, unintelligent, Utthitam, arose, Purusha, cosmic being, Yasmat, from which, Udastishat, appeared, Asau, that, Virat, celebrated. Divine Grace, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From these 7 principles roused into activity and united by the presence of the Lord, an unintelligent egg arose, from which appeared the celebrated cosmic being. Purport: in sex life, the combination of matter from the parents, which involves emulsification and secretion, creates the situation whereby a soul is received within matter, and the combination of matter gradually develops into a complete body. The same principle exists in the universal creation. The ingredients are present, but only when the Lord enters into the material element is matter actually agitated. That is the cause of creation. We can see this in our ordinary experience. Although we may have clay, water, and fire, the elements take the shape of a brick only when we labor to combine them. Without the living energy, there is no possibility that matter can take shape. Similarly, this material world does not develop unless agitated by the Supreme Lord as the Virat Purusha. Yasmat Udattishat Asau Virata. By his agitation, space was created and the universal form of the Lord also manifested herein. So we'll start 2 verses for today. So I have a brief PPT. Okay. So we know that here Srila Prabhupada is speaking one very important principle. And this principle Srila Prabhupada has spoken again and again in many of his purports, in many of his books. He repeats it again and again. And that is that inferior energy, it requires superior energy's intervention for its functioning. You know? So generally in today's atheistic world, you know, many people, even the scientific community, sometimes have that notion that the life, the function, the manipulation of the matter can take place within the matter. So there is a matter which is the inferior energy, and within the matter, by the combination and permutations of different functions of matter, the life can come, the maintenance can happen, the sustenance can happen, the shaping of the matter can happen, and everything can happen. But our shastras speak something completely opposite. Our shastra gives that there is an inferior energy and there is a superior energy, and only when the superior energy, it intervenes into the inferior energy, can the inferior energy transform into a meaningful shape, can it function in a meaningful manner, and everything. Yeah. So here Srila Prabhupada gives a wonderful example of clay, and brick coming from it. We may have raw material, but unless that raw material in the form of clay is intervened by the potter, then only a beautiful pots, of different shapes and sizes, they come out. It doesn't happen automatic. So here I have taken one more very layman example to understand it. Just like we eat, each one of us eat chapatis. So the chapati which has come, it has come through various levels of transformation of the matter. Initially, we see that farmers, they work very hard to grow and cultivate the paddy field, yes, and the wheat field, and then it requires somebody's effort to segregate wheat from those plants. It requires again somebody's intervention to transform that wheat into flour, into fine powder. And after that also, it requires so much of effort. Anybody who has worked in kitchen, they know how much effort it takes, to make a flour into a dough. And then again, it takes effort to make that dough into a round shaped chapati. And then it again takes an effort to transform it into a full-fledged chapati, which is edible, to our stomach. Yes? So we need that in each of these steps, there is a superior intervention. It's not that paddy is there and one day we come after some time and we see that paddy field has turned into many chapatis. That doesn't happen. Yes. So that's why this was one of the very cardinal important teaching of Srila Prabhupada, which he has hammered again and again in his purports, in his small books, everywhere. Yeah, that inferior energy is animated by the superior energy, and this is even confirmed by Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So in the 7th chapter, where Krishna starts describing his glory and the glory of his energies. Yes, so he clearly mentions the segregation of two types of energy in this world. So he says that this world is functioning, by the two energies. Yes, one is the inferior energy, one is the superior energy. Yes, so the superior energy is the subject which exploits the inferior energy, but inferior energy is the object of exploitation by the superior energy. Yes, so regarding this, I will read that. So maybe we can directly read this verse from. Yeah. So here we have 7.4. Bhumirapon vayu khamana buddhir evacha ahankar ityam me bhinna prakriti astada. So earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, and intelligence as false ego. All together, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. Yeah. So just like just a verse before, in the 50th verse, we read about these ingredients. Where Prabhupada is talking about the 5 gross elements, the Mahat Tattva, and the false ego. Everything. So here again, Krishna confirms that these are my inferior energies. Or we can say the material energy. So now let us see. So in the next verse, that is 7.5. Now Krishna is going to speak about his superior energy. Let us see. Aparayam itastva anyam pratim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabho yaedam dharyate jagat. So beside this, oh mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind. So please see, Krishna is clearly mentioning that it's a superior energy. Apara means it's inferior, whereas this energy is superior, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material or inferior nature. Yes. So here in the purport, Prabhupada beautifully brings out this principle that how unless intervened superior energy, the inferior energy cannot function. Okay, back to our PPT. Yeah. So this completely defies that inferior energy can create life among itself. Yes. So we have various theory in the scientific community, where people come up with their own concocted theory. Like one of the theories says that there was some thunderbolt, and there was some combination of atoms or molecules, and suddenly the life came out. And because of that, everything else is running. So the cause of life is within the matter. So and then there's a Darwin theory which says that somehow by some permutation and combination of matter, the first seed living entity came, and gradually it started developing into various evolved form of living entities. Yeah. So, but Srila Prabhupada, he spoke very, very vigorously about life comes from life. So this is the picture of that beautiful book, where it's a conversation of Srila Prabhupada with scientists, and he clearly defined that life, the origin of life is in life. Yes. And we see any liveliness in the matter. We see any amount of order, any amount of beautiful shape. We see any amount of wonderful functioning in the matter that is caused by life. Because life is superior, matter is inferior. So what is superior can manipulate the inferior. Yes. So this was so in this book, Srila Prabhupada again repeats this principle. So now, so here we know that is the Atma. So now in the second chapter, when Krishna was starting the whole science of self-realization, the whole science of yoga and everything, the first principle which Krishna speaks is the science of soul. So this is the fundamental principle. This is the level 0 principle when we start our spiritual life, to have this basic understanding of inferior energy and superior energy. On the person who is only stuck at the level of inferior energy, he is an illusion, and he cannot start the spiritual life. Spiritual life only starts when we see ourselves separate from the inferior energy, and that's the Atma Tattva, the Atma Jnana, which is the first teaching which Krishna shared to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So one thing is very clear, that we have our body, which is made of matter, the 5 elements and everything, and the soul which is sitting within the body is animating it. And we know, all of us know the basic examples which Srila Prabhupada used to give. He used to say, what is the difference between a dead body and a living body? If suppose a plant has died, and you say that death is just a chemical combination, so can you again recombine some chemical and bring back that tree to life? So these were the few basic things which Srila Prabhupada argued to prove it. So now the question comes, okay, each of the soul, so Krishna is speaking about many superior energy, which are multiple in number. So in my body there is my individual soul. In your body there is one individual soul. In some third person there is a third soul, and each one of us is maintaining our body, and each one of us are animating our body, and that's why there's a life in our body. And each one of us is also manipulating the matter outside us, and all those things. But we also see that the universe which is around us it is also acting in order. Not only our body is acting in order, not only the human society which is acting in order. There is the huge planets which are floating in the universe. They are also, following a perfect law and order. Even at the atomic level, if you go in the atoms, you find a perfect orbits of each electron. There's a perfect defined velocity of each electron. And the scientists who have studied this universe, this atom, very, very carefully, they also get very surprised, and that how it is so well customized. Like the scientists say, the Earth, which is revolving around the sun, if by mistake it is just few centimeters near the sun, it will burn. If it is few centimeters away from the sun, it will freeze. So that means it's a perfect distance from the sun which the Earth is maintaining for its proper functioning. Yeah. So like this, if we observe our universe, like plants, which are growing, so there's a proper structure in which it grows. Even our own body, though we are animating our own body, but are we conscious that how our digestive system is acting, how our nervous system is acting? We are sitting and we are using this body, that's all. But we are not controlling our function. So the question comes, okay, so Krishna spoke about the superior energy, but who is that person who is controlling the universal body? So we are controlling our limited body. We are in this limited body, but we see that this universe is just like a wonderful machine. This universe is just like a beautiful universal body. So who is maintaining this body? So that's why our Shastras, it clearly mentions about the knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetragya. That within this body, the soul is the person which is controlling the body. But in 13.3, Krishna clearly says, Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetresu bharata. He says that within the body is like Kshetragya. In just a verse prior to it, Krishna mentions Kshetragya. Kshetragya means the soul which is knower of the field. Who is the soul? But then the 3.3, Krishna immediately says, Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi. I am also knower of field. And which field I am the knower of? Sarva kshetreshu bharata. All the kshetras. So he is the knower of my kshetra also. He is the knower of your kshetra also. He is the knower of the third kshetra. He is the knower of the entire universe. Kshetra kshetragyor jnanam yartaj jnanam matam mama. You should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies. And to understand this body, and that is my opinion. Yes. So Krishna speaks that, and that's why Srila Prabhupada in his Science of Self-Realization book, he uses beautiful word. So I remember when I studied the chapter, Science of Self-Realization, when I newly came to Krishna consciousness, so this word itself was an eureka for me. So this word says super consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada has named this chapter as super consciousness. Where he said the super soul being present within everyone, situated everywhere, is conscious of every existence. The theory that the soul and the supreme are one is not acceptable, because the individual soul's consciousness cannot act in super consciousness. This super consciousness can only be achieved by dovetailing individual consciousness with the super consciousness, and this dovetailing process is called surrender or Krishna consciousness. So here Srila Prabhupada is very clear, that there is a super consciousness. So consciousness means I am conscious of my body, and that's why sometimes we cannot control other person, and that's why there is so much of relationship problem, because in a particular relationship, sometimes we find that I am not able to control the other person. So this is a very humble realization that I am only limited with myself. So that's only my reach. My kshetra is very limited. Sometimes a living entity try to act in this world, he finds that he is very limited. He cannot achieve what he wants. he cannot he cannot manipulate matter as he desires, and this is where the bhakti actually starts. When we acknowledge the two Kshetriyas separately, when we come to this enlightened state that I am that there is a super consciousness also existing who is aware of everything, because of as a very very simply one can understand. I am the person who is not controlling the universe. I am the person who is not even designed my digestive system. It is automatically. I am just using this digestive system, but I am not maintaining this digestive system. There's somebody else who is maintaining it. And another question comes: okay, if I can control my body, but what happens when I leave my body? Who decides that whether I am born in a rich family or a poor family? Who decides that I will born with a good intelligence or with a very dull intelligence? Who decides whether I will be very powerful with a lot of strength, or whether I will be a diseased person? That is not I am deciding. And this humility leads to the search for the super consciousness. Who is that person? Because with the open eyes, with an unbiased eye, we can see that there is a controller of everything, and a humble realization that I am not that controller. So then who is that controller? And if we read our shastras carefully, it talks about super consciousness. And here in this verse, Srila Prabhupada writes Purusha, a wonderful being come out. So here that super consciousness is described as a person. So the word Purusha itself mentioned that he is a person, and his body is the entire universe. Just like my body is limited within this 5 feet, and maybe one or 2 feet wide body. That's all within this shape. But Krishna, his body is the entire universe. So very beautiful concept, which was given in the Shastra about Shiro Dakshaya Vishnu, Garbho Dakshaya Vishnu, and Karno Dakshaya Vishnu. So these are 3 Purusha avatars, and these 3 Purusha avatara, they are the very cause and very effect of this universe. So the entire universe is functioning, because of the intervention of the Purusha avatar of the Lord. Yes, and the entire universe, each and every atom in the universe, each and every planet in every universe, rather each and every universe is the body of the Purusha avatar. And Krishna is aware of each and every atom. He is aware of each and everything happening in this world. And he is the person who is animating it, who is giving shape to it, who is holding it together. So now the scientists can say that there are various laws who are governing, and the planets are moving as per gravitation and everything. So, but even Newton very humbly accepted, no human being can create a system where you just apply a physics law and it start just rotating. Even our fans are there. Even after some time, our fan stops working. Though we have fully designed it, we have made software, but even after some time, we find that the virus affected. We need maintenance for the software. If we can just make a software and just leave it to run just like that, so we find that the companies like Google and YouTube, etc., will not exist. These companies is existing because it requires a lot of effort to maintain these websites, to maintain this software. So similarly, this universe which is there, so Krishna is the cause of it, but Krishna is also the maintainer of it, and Krishna is also the reason for its dissolution too. Yes. So Krishna, so this concept of Krishna being the maintainer and everything is very beautifully encapsulated in the 10.2. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutasaya Sthita Aham Adishya Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Anta Eva Cha. So here Krishna very clearly says, I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. And I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. So beginning from giving shape to the matter, beginning from rather transformation of matter. So in the previous verses, by the previous speakers, they have clearly defined that even the earth, water, fire, air, ether, these are the various transformation of the energy of the Supreme Lord. So even the raw material is brought by Supreme Lord. Even the raw material is given the shape by the Supreme Lord. And when they are given shape, it is maintained by the Supreme Lord. And finally, when it comes for dissolution, the dissolution happens by Supreme Lord. So and this concept is much more vividly and clearly explained in the Narayana Upanishad. If you read the Narayana Upanishad, there it very clearly says that from the Narayan's body only all the raw materials come. The Narayan is only the Purusha Avatara who is maintaining the universe. And after the dissolution, it is in the Narayan's body that everything goes. So in the purport to this verse, Prabhupada writes a beautiful purport which is very significant to our today's discussion. So I will just read that part of the purport. It is the second paragraph. Krishna first in Arjuna that he is the soul of the entire cosmic manifestation and then his primary expansion. Before the material creation, the Supreme Lord by his planetary expansions accepts the Krishna incarnation. And from him everything begins. There he is the Atma, the soul of Mahatattva, the universal elements. This is a beautiful term, the soul of the universe. So we are also soul. And Krishna is, so here Krishna is also accepted as a soul. But what is the difference? The difference is that in my soul, my body is very limited. It's a very limited bag of blood, urine, whatever you can say. I am just animating this limited body. But Krishna, his body is the entire Mahatattva. The entire universal elements are his body. He is in control of everything. The total material energy is not the cause of the creation. So this is again very beautiful. This is defined the atheistic theory that life comes from matter. The total material energy is not the cause of the creation. Actually, the Mahavishnu enters into Mahatattva, the total material energy, and he is the soul. When Mahavishnu enters into the manifested universe, he again manifests himself as a super soul in each and every living entity. So this is again very beautiful. That first of all, Krishna, first of all, at the level of Mahatattva, when the raw material is in the unmanifested state, it has not been given the proper shape and size, everything. So there also Krishna is there, and when they are given the shape, and in the form of universe, so there also Krishna is there, and then within that universe, when the objects come, when every atom is there, every living entity is there, then again in the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Krishna again enters. So we can say at the macro level, at the micro level, it is Krishna only who is sustaining the universe. So we have experienced that the personal body of the living entity exists due to the presence of spiritual spark. Without the existence of the spiritual spark, the body cannot develop. Yes. Similarly, the material manifestation cannot develop unless the supreme soul, Krishna, enters. As stated in the Subal Upanishad, Prakriti Adi Sarva Bhutantar Yami Sarva Seshi Cha Narayana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is existing as the super soul in all manifested universe. So again, Prabhupada writes, the Krishna also described in the Narad Pancharatra, one of the Satvata Tantra. Vishnu Stutrini Rupani Puru Sakhyani Atho Vitu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests three features as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. In this material manifestation, the Mahavishnu or the Karnodakshaya Vishnu is described in the Brahma Samhita. Ya Karanar va Jale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidra. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, The cause of all causes lie in the cosmic ocean as Mahavishnu. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the beginning of this universe, the maintainer of the universal manifestation, and end of all energy. Yes. So very clearly and in a very lucid manner, Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that how Krishna is the beginning, the middle, and also the end of everything which is existing. And that's why Krishna could show the whole universe within his mouth. When Krishna ate the dirt, so Yashoda Maya can see the whole universe within Krishna's body. So the whole universe is within Krishna's body, and the whole universe is also outside Krishna's body at that time. So this is very achintya to think. It is very difficult to imagine how it can happen. But that's the definition of Lord. Everything is within him. He's everything is his own body, and he can do anything with it. And that's why we find that, let's say, if suppose we want to move our toe, we just have to desire it, and we start moving the toe. It's not that I have to take my hand to my toes and then I have to move it. Yes, because I am the controller of this body. I want to move my toe, I can move my toe like that. I want to circle my hand like this, I can circle it. Similarly, every function of this universe is in Supreme Lord, and that's why it is said sa ikshati. Simply by his iksha, the things happen. So simply by his iksha, Supreme Lord is so. And in while showing the Virat in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, because Arjuna wanted to see that form of Lord through which he pervades the whole universe. So just a chapter previous to it, in the 10th chapter, Arjuna was very curious to know about various vibhuti, where Krishna says, I am this, I am also this, I am the essence of this. So Krishna says that I am only everything, I am the intelligence of intelligent, I am the strength of the powerful people, I am the person who is the most beautiful thing, I am the person who is the most fragrant thing, and everything Krishna explains. But then Arjuna wanted to see that form. He wanted to see in front of his eyes that how Krishna, how can you please show me that how you pervade the whole universe? How? Because it is very difficult for somebody to imagine how can the whole universe be the Krishna's body, because in this world we don't have that experience. We have experience of somebody controlling limited things. So Arjuna was very curious to know. And Srila Prabhupada writes that Arjuna was fully convinced about Krishna's greatness, but he wanted to see this form for the sake of the common people. Because the common people in our limited intelligence, that thing doesn't settle. That how can super consciousness exist? How can somebody be omnipresence? Because omnipresence means you know everything of this whole universe. You know what is going in my mind, what is going in his mind, what is going in all the 84 lakh species mind. I am aware of every atom. I am aware of every universe. Such a person we have never experienced in this world. Such a person, it's very difficult to fit it in our limited intelligence. And that's why Arjuna requested Krishna, can you show it? And then that's why Krishna, he manifested his Virat Rupa. And we will see some of the verses from the 11th chapter, because it will help us to appreciate this verse much more clearly. That how Krishna is that Purusha, in him the whole universe is his body. Oh Arjuna, so I'm just reading the translation because we are just coming close to our time. Oh Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place. So this is so amazing. That Krishna is saying in one place. Means Arjuna is sitting at one place, Krishna is standing at one place, and Krishna is ready to show whatever you want to desire. You want to you want to desire to see Krishna, how is Sutal Loka, how is heaven, how is Brahma Loka. So Krishna says everything is within me only. What are the types of living entities you want to see? You want to see demigods? You want to see Gandharva? You want to see Charanas? You want to see Vidyadharas? Whatever you want to see, it is there within my body. Because I am the person who is the source of all of that. And then not only that, Krishna is also saying whatever you may want to see in the future. So this is again very amazing. This Krishna is ready to show what is in the future because he is the soul of everything. He is the super. He also knows what will happen in the future. So everything moving and non-moving. So this is again very catching word. Moving and non-moving is here completely in one place. And in the latter verses we see that it's not easy to see it, and that's why Krishna awards a divine vision to Arjuna. And like it continues, where Arjuna sees so many, and Arjuna is fully bewildered. Okay, how come? He is everything. Krishna is everything. And yeah, so it's 18, where Arjuna says, you are the supreme primal objective, you are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. This is the conclusion which Arjuna is verdict after seeing the Vishwarupa, ultimate resting place of all this universe. The entire universe is resting. If you want to find where it is resting, can you show me one place where it is resting? So Krishna is saying, it is resting in me. Everything is resting on me. I am that person standing in front of you. You are inexhaustible, without origin and all. So I'm going to yeah. All right. So now here, Prabhupada has also spoken about time in the few next words. So that also we'll see that Krishna enters at time also in the universe. So here Krishna shows as space. So space is Krishna, but time is also Krishna. In the 50th verse we see that Krishna doesn't enter only with the raw material and just create the universe. He is also the Kala, who is the past, present, and future. So the text 32, when we focus on text 32, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, maybe we can read this verse because it is about Kala Rupa of Krishna. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kalosmi Loka Shayakrit Pravidho Lokan Samhartum Iha Pravitta Rite Pitwamna Bhavishyanti Sarve Yavashistha Prati Anikeshu Yotha. The Supreme Personality of God said, time I am, greatest destroyer of the worlds. And I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, Pandavas. All the soldiers on both sides will be slain. So Krishna is saying, time. I am the person. I am the time. I am the person who is deciding. So we see that the age of universe is fixed. We see that the Satyug exists for this much time. Then Treta Yug comes. Then Dwapar Yug comes. Kalyug exists for 432,000 years. We see everything is timed. Everything is scheduled in this universe. When will we see there are 14 Manus. And there is a change of Manu after there's a Kalpa, there's Mahakalpa, and everything. Who has scheduled them? So this is the maintenance part of Krishna. That is scheduled. That what will happen? How will the change of Kalpa happen? And what will happen? Who is deciding that? It is Krishna at that time. Even our life, we have a limited breath. Somebody die at the age of 40. Somebody die at the age of 60. So who has decided the number of breath we have? It is Krishna, who is the time who has decided. So Krishna is also the time factor. So we have bad karma, we have good karma. We have bad time and a good time. And the transition from that good time to bad time, Who decides that? Who rewards our karma? It is Krishna who is judge. We don't pick up our karma. If we are given the chance to pick up our karma, we will only pick up good karma. We will only want to live in our good times. We never want that our bad time comes. But we are enforced bad time in our life. If we have done something wrong, that bad karma is inevitable. So who is that person who is controlling? That is the super soul, Krishna, who is controlling it. Yeah. So like this we see that Krishna is also the space, and Krishna is also the time factor, who is running this universe. Yeah. And then I'm coming to the last phase of the discussion, that is some discussion from Isha-Upanishad, which gives a more appreciation for such Krishna's greatness. So that is the invocation verse, where so this universe has, but this universe is also very much complete. So it's not that this universe is a random place where we have just landed. Some Om Purnam Ada Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnam Ada Purna Eva Vashishyate. The Supreme Personality of God, it is perfect and complete. And because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. So this is a beautiful statement by Srila Prabhupada, that he is complete, and he is the person who creates complete units, and this phenomenal world is complete in its sense. Yes, and whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself, because he is the complete whole. Even though so many complete units emanates from him, he remains balanced. So this is amazing. This is a great, so sometimes people, so this refutes, because sometimes people see Supreme Lord only as Virat Ru. So they have this conception. This is Prakriti, and this Prakriti is very nice. So they are not able to appreciate the Purusha behind the Prakriti, and this is because of their limited intelligence, which cannot comprehend that how can a Purusha handle such a vast Prakriti. But here in the Isha-Upanishad, Srila Prabhupada completely say that there is a Purusha, and that Purusha is complete in himself, and from him a complete unit comes. And when a complete units come from him, it's not that he becomes divided or he becomes less. Suppose I have 1 million rupees. If I give in charity 500,000 rupees, I am only left with 500,000. My glories goes down. But here Krishna is not like that. Krishna is complete. He leads to he generates complete, and he remains complete. So spiritual mathematics is completely different. 1 minus 1 is 1. So 1 is a complete number. If you minus 1 from it, still 1 remains. So that's the spiritual mathematics. And here Prabhupada, he very clearly mentions, what does it mean when we say that the universe is complete in itself? Yes, what does it mean? First of all, it is complete because it has all the facility for the sustenance of living entities. In that way, it is complete. We have water, we have facility of light, we have all the, we are given mother and father. When the mother is pregnant, the milk automatically comes in mother's breast. Who is supplying that milk? It is also very amazing that before the child is born, the milk is not there. And when the child is born, suddenly the milk comes. This is the arrangement of Supreme Lord. Yes, so that's why it is complete. So it's complete in sense that everything is, all the facilities are there, which is necessary for a living entity to functions. Second, that it is complete in the purpose of the creation. One of the purpose of creation of this universe is that to facilitate the enjoying mentality of the living entity. And that's why Krishna has created this universe, and he has given a free will He has given, so the soul is also sometimes known as Ishvara. The soul is a mini Ishvara. Krishna is the Param Ishvara. So sometimes soul is also called Ishvara. Why? Because he also can control something. He also can make softwares. He also can erect some buildings. He also can create a family for himself and think that I am the head of this family, and all these things. So it is also complete because it facilitates a jiva's propensity to enjoy in this world. In that way, the universe is complete. Because this is why the jiva want to come to this world. And Supreme Lord, Srila Prabhupada writes that Supreme Lord is so merciful that he tried to fulfill every desire of the living entity. As a super soul, Krishna is sitting just next to the soul, and he is smelling all the desires. And that's why Krishna always fulfills. If you are not pious enough to be fulfilled in this life, Krishna keeps that desire in the mind. Oh, this living entity wanted to enjoy in this manner. So maybe in the future lives, when you gain the sufficient pious credit, that desire will come back to us again because we desired it. So Krishna allows us to enjoy in every possible way. He allows us to enjoy this way, that way, in whatever way you want to enjoy independently, let you enjoy. In that way, this universe is also complete. And the universe is also complete in the third way, and that's the most important way. That this universe is created that the living entity can come back to Krishna. And that's why Krishna has also empowered this universe with the spiritual knowledge. So whenever a living entity want to come back to this universe, Krishna is just sitting near to him. In the Sri Isha, in the Ishopanishad, if we go further verses, Krishna says that I am near also, that supreme truth is near and far away. He is very close, at the same time he is very, very far away. What does that mean? That means this world is so complete that if an atheist want to forget about Krishna, he doesn't want to see Purusha behind this Prakriti. Krishna is so far away, you cannot see him. Lord Brahma was born from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. He started searching that what is there in this universe, who is the source, from where this lotus is coming. Let me go in the lotus, let me search. He was not able to search. In this way, this universe is also complete. That it completely fulfills a living entity desire to forget Krishna. So Krishna is so amazing. He's far away, he's near. And for a devotee who want to come to Krishna, Krishna is so near. If we pray, Krishna is so near. A devotee who is chanting Hare Krishna, he is in full knowledge of Krishna. He is feeling that this every word Hare Krishna, this is not different from Krishna. And an atheist is also fully convinced that God doesn't exist. So we can imagine that how complete is this universe. When we want to forget Krishna, Krishna is very far away. You apply your entire physics, chemistry, mathematics in this for hundreds and billions of lives of research, you can never reach Krishna. So in the Brahma Samhita also says, even if you run at the speed of mind, you cannot reach to Krishna. You cannot catch the Purusha behind this universe. You will only be lost within the body of Krishna. You can never reach Krishna. You simply keep hovering from one atom to another, one planet to another, but you can never reach Krishna. And somebody wants to reach Krishna. Somebody says, Krishna, I'm done with this material enjoyment. Now I want to come back to you. So then there is complete facility on this universe, full facility. And and Krishna keeps sending his representatives. And Krishna keeps sending. He himself come as an avatar to give Leela. So Krishna is doing Leela in the spiritual world. Why he want to do Leela in this universe? Why he want to come to material world and do his Leela? Because to make this universe complete more. Because to facilitate the complete facility for a living entity to return back home, back to Godhead. So this word Prabhupada repeated again and again, back to Godhead. So like that. So in that way also, this world is also complete. So we can know that how So how this world is not only very ordered, in its structure, in its shape, in its functioning, but it is also well structured in its purpose, for which the universe is created, and that completely defines the greatness of Krishna. So this is the goal of studying the Sankhya Yoga, which we discussed in the last phase of our discussion. So this chapter, 26th chapter of Bhagavatam, it is containing with lot of details of earth, water, fire, air, ether, and so many things. So the question may come, why Sukadeva Goswami is telling? Because this is all material details. It is so because when we know it, we know Krishna's greatness. And then the goal is to actually reach to the Purusha who is behind this, behind this universe. And when we appreciate this universe, we can imagine how great must be Krishna. If he's just a spark of creation, Krishna says in Gita that this universe is nothing but a small spark of my creation, a small spark. If the spark is so great, so wonderful, how much great will be the source of this spark? How much great will Krishna himself? So this the goal of studying the Sankhya Yoga is this. The goal of analyzing the elements of this universe, to analyze the greatness of the universe, is to go back to Godhead, to Krishna. So with this we end, because we have almost reached to the time. So thank you very much for everybody patient, and thank you to all the devotees and temple authorities who gave me this wonderful opportunity to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any comment or question. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any comment or question, they can ask. Anybody want to give any feedback, they can give. Okay, so Hare Krishna. With this, I think we'll close for the day. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai.